that if God is the thing that represents the mystery all around us, contrast that with our conception of God, the way we talk about him, is more a creation of our minds. It's not the mystery. It's our struggle to comprehend the mystery.
The Upanishads speak about us as the creators, about us as gods. It's a very different creation myth, but the God of the Upanishads, in this great verse, talks about pouring themselves into creation. Indeed, I have become this creation, says God. And there's a great line, verily, he or she who knows this becomes in this creation a creator. So, yeah, just our ability to engage in meditation, our ability to think about this stuff is partly our divine nature. This is what the humanists were talking about in the Renaissance, by the way. It's a process of unlearning, is what some of the mystical traditions talk about. Unlearning all these thoughts, emotions, traumas, and experiences that have gone into the false construction of our false self. That behind all these layers, like peeling back the onion, is a part of us that, once you can identify that, begins to look a little bit different. In other words, it's one thing to foster a relationship with God. It's a very different thing to identify as God. And I mean that quite literally, without being heretical. You can find this in the mystery traditions, but you can find it in the mystical tradition of Islam and Judaism as well. So Rumi, for example, the great Sufi mystic, talks about if you could get rid of yourself just once, the secret of secrets would open to you, that the face of the unknown would appear on the perception of your consciousness. Rabbi Lawrence Kushner, a modern-day contemporary mystic, talks about, because this stuff does continue, there's a continuity to it.
The poetry here is incredible.
So, well, listen to Rabbi Kushner. He says that the emptying of selfhood allows the soul to attach to true reality. And in Kabbalism, the true reality is what's called the divine nothingness, Ayin. I'll give you Meister Eckhart, another medieval Christian mystic. He says that if you could not yourself, right? The same concept. If you could not yourself for just an instant, indeed I say less than an instant, you would possess all. So again, you're seeing the same thing in Sufism, Kabbalism, Christian mysticism. The way to identify with the divine is to peel back these layers and attempt to discover pure awareness.